Hey everybody, welcome to Nerds Drink Whiskey, episode 101. So we're continuing our travels into flavored whiskeys. This is an idea that you had like when we first started the show, but we never really had a good opportunity to do it because of our good friends at Capital Scotch and Whiskey, Seesaw. We're invading their flavored whiskey adventures, so we decided to just record our episodes for the month with this. Now, this is probably good ideas for like when we hit the holidays. Maybe I think some of this stuff might taste better in like hot chocolate or something. Maybe.
Yeah, the last one was definitely for mixers, or just getting drunk. This one maybe you could actually sip it, and if instead of wanting hard cider, this could be
Have you tried it yet?
No, but just the smell.
Okay.
It
smells a little better.
This smells like when you have when you're making mulled cider on the stove. This smells like that. So this reminds me of when I'm making mulled cider or mulled wine. The smells you get in the kitchen when you're making that. So we'll see if it actually tastes like that. But that's my guess.
What's your thoughts?
To me, honestly, this tastes like something that I would have at Christmas time. The nice nice apple cider flavor, even for it being a low proof as far as whiskey goes. It's actually it's got a nice little finish to it for being so light. It's actually really tasty. I like this a lot.
I can't taste any alcohol whatsoever.
There's enough that I can tell it's alcoholic. But yeah, you're not gonna get super sloppy on this by accident. You'd have to try. Well, you might just because you can't taste the alcohol. So if you pour yourself, a 12-ounce glass of cider, and it's actually Evan Williams Kentucky, which that's what they call it, I guess, Kentucky cider. You can get drunk, but yeah, it's gonna take a little while.
Yeah, this is and I think Gabe here noticed that it's 34 proof. So this is you could slam this, and there's nothing there. There's no alcohol. I mean, it's 34 proof. There's pretty much no alcohol. So I would pair this with. I would compare this in a blind taste test with straight up cider before I did it with another whiskey. I mean, that's how.
Yes, yeah. Definitely with spice cider.
This basically just tastes like cider. It doesn't taste like whiskey at all. There's it's the alcohol is like a small trace. So this is pretty much. This is probably about as close as you can get to straight cider, and still even try and call it whiskey. So that's my opinion. It's less sickly sweet than the last one, but it's definitely not. I'm not the least bit impressed with this one either.
Yeah, I was hoping for more flavorful. It's lightly apple flavored and lightly cinnamon flavored, and not at all whiskey flavored. So it's not offensive, and it's not as sweet as the last one. But it's not all that impressive either.
If you can get permission from your spouse to give your kid whiskey, this is probably the safest first shot of whiskey you could ever give them. This is almost kid-friendly whiskey. So
might be a bad idea.
Not that we condone that, Mark.
Not that we condone that at all. I'm saying if you, as the parent, decide that, this would be probably the most kid-safe. It's yeah. That's the one that if your kid gets in the whiskey cabinet and they get this, they might not be in as much trouble.
Gateway whiskey.
This is totally gateway whiskey. So, anyways, we're not impressed by this one at all. We keep referring to, and Jeff is the one that mentioned it. They used to be called Blind Pig Distillery down in Olympia. They're now called Shoebox Distillery. They have an apple shine that blows both of the last two whiskeys out of the water. So if you want kind of that apple shine taste, I would go more for them than I would this. So any final words?
No.
I don't really think that there's much that you can say about this other than, just weak sauce.
Yeah.
So this makes me want actual mulled cider. Like, this is a poor imitation of mulled cider, and makes me just want to take some cider and mull it over a stove and make actual mulled cider.
So here's what makes me kind of feel like a deer in headlights. This Tracy from Seesaw has challenged us to come up with notes other than the obvious. Can you think of any notes for this other than the obvious?
I'm trying to think if there's anything whiskey-ish in here.
There isn't.
It's like, all right, last sip. Let's see if I can find it.
There isn't anything whiskey-ish in this.
There might be a little oaky in it. Like, I can get tiniest little bit of something other than apple and cinnamon. But that might just be me imagining things too.
Yeah. So, anyways, do you have any notes that you could give to this other than the obvious?
To tell you the truth, I'm kind of with Jeff on this one. You might be able to taste the tiniest bit of oakiness, but not really anything too spectacular to be able to actually pick out. There's no full body to it. There's no real, whiskey flavor to be had. It's just, I don't know, man. I kind of agree with Jeff. I think I'd rather just have like a good mulled cider out of this.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's it for Evan Williams Kentucky Cider. Anyways, real quick before we go, to support the show, try out Freshly. It's great. It's great for if you need to take some food to work for your lunch or dinner break, and make sure to bring a knife because it's real food. It's really delicious, and just follow the link at the bottom of the screen and try Freshly. It's I'm only spewing about Freshly because that's what I take to work every day. So it's delicious food, and we'll see you next week for another episode of Nerds Drink Whiskey.